Perhaps this one isn't the best place for contemplation, at least if you don't have your earmuffs on. Quite noisy today. But I want to share with you something that I do actually in my IOX contemplation classes. I actually noticed on the website of the Australian Institute for Orthodox Christian Studies, in short IOX, that from time to time I offer customized short courses. One of them, which has been quite useful and I noticed more popular than the others during the pandemic restrictions, is the one on contemplation, spiritual contemplation, with an emphasis on the contemplation of nature. Some of you who actually read my stuff, my research, know that well, let's call it, I'm a fan of nature, and the contemplation of nature has become a very comforting spiritual exercise for me in the last few years. It has been quite useful for the restrictions, lockdowns and all that. And those who asked me about it and took a few courses or a few classes already know it. It's quite easy actually to do. What I follow is, let's call it a rule or an approach that I draw on many writings by Saint Clement of Alexandria, a 2nd century father who, for some obscure reasons, didn't make it in our calendar of saints, but by all intents and purposes is one of them. Anyway, you won't find this method anywhere outlined, I don't know, with clarity in Clement's writings. But even in my recent book, Humankind and the Cosmos, Early Christian Representations, I show that for an attentive reader, the method is there. It's just a matter of piecing it together. Well, briefly, it takes like 3 steps. One of them is the description, and if you can, the analysis of the world, the environment, nature as we perceive it. You can include in this stage, of course, at least 2 layers. One is what your senses tell you about reality, about the place where we are. And the other one is, let's call it more theoretical, unless you want to experiment a bit in a scientific fashion. But yeah, so this theoretical approach would entail to flex your scientific muscle and try to analyze from a physical, chemical, whatever, biological perspective what your senses tell you about your surroundings. So this would be the first stage of contemplation. The second stage of natural contemplation, at least for Christians, is to translate your findings what you discovered in the first stage in terms that evoke the ecclesial experience, the liturgy, images from the scriptures, from the prayerful life, from the icons. Of course, if you aren't Christian, you can still do this second step of the method by translating those same findings in a language or within a framework that is your own, let's call it, philosophical context. What does it mean to you? So it's the first stage would be, what is it? The second stage would be, what does it mean? What does it mean for your life in terms of your own existence, your own aspirations, your worldview, and so on. The third stage, well, that's a tougher one, because it requires a leap of faith. It requires to put yourself in the skin of God, so to speak. This is what actually the saints achieve. By becoming one with God, as in united to Him, not absorbed into God. They position themselves very high above, so to speak. And from that vantage point, that divine vantage point, they see reality with divine eyes, as God would see it, as it were. So that third stage isn't quite easy to achieve. I said it takes a leap of faith, but it also takes an existential leap. And not many of us are so brave or so consistent in their approach to life to take it. There you go. There you have it. That's what I do from time to time, and it's a very comforting way of doing it. For further details, you can go to academia.edu and read my articles and book chapters that refer to nature or the cosmos, and you can glean a bit more about this method. Or if you are affluent, you can buy my book from Brill Publishers. It's quite expensive, but like 60%, at least 60% of my book, Humankind and the Cosmos, Early Christian Representations, is about contemplation of nature. Anyway, brand new day for me and for all those who live down under. May God bless us all, wherever we find ourselves.